Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are thrilled that you are participating in our special Accepted Student Day events for our fall accepted students here at the Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. My name is Eric Thompson, and I am the Executive Director of Enrollment Services for the school. But I wanted to begin the time that we have together by extending my own personal congratulations to you all on your acceptance to the Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. This is a very momentous time in your life, and you need to spend a little bit of time celebrating over the next few weeks, getting to the end of your senior year, at the doorstep of beginning your college experience. And we could not be any more thrilled that you applied to MCPHS and you've been admitted to MCPHS. And all of us look forward to seeing you as an enrolled student at our healthcare university this fall. I have a couple of my colleagues here that to help with this presentation. I'd like to take a minute for them to introduce themselves as well. So Beth, I'll pass to you.
Good afternoon or good morning. I am the Director of Student Financial Services for all of our campuses at Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. And congratulations to all. I'm thrilled to have you here. Our goal today is to walk you through the process of how you figure out how to finance your education. I think the biggest question people ask me is, what's the best way? And I'd have to say the best way is different for every family. And that's what we're here to help you figure out. And we would love to work hand in hand with you to make this be a really rewarding experience. And I'd like to introduce Luke, who is our Assistant Director of Admissions.
Thank you, Beth. To echo everyone else, congratulations on getting accepted here. Just to clarify, I work on the admissions side of the office. However, I know some of you are going to be interacting with me throughout this spring semester and over the summer, because part of what I do is conducting affordability appointments with families to go over what estimated costs will look like and what their financial aid package will look like. And I work in tandem with Beth's office. What's really nice about MCPHS is that we do have a lot of cross-training and a lot of shared responsibility between the financial aid and admissions offices. So you're really getting to connect with your counselor, and then we're also going to make sure you connect with your student financial services counselor as well.
To begin our conversation specifically about financial planning and affordability, I begin this conversation typically with talking about how institutionally we approach this part of our work. Our leadership, myself, Luke, Beth that are here with me, all of our greater staff abroad in our area, we are very focused in this part of our work on a very high level of counseling and service for our admitted students and our families. We have an incredibly diverse population at our school, which also means we have a very diverse admitted student pool. For some of our families, they may have gone through this process before, right? They may have gone through financial planning for college for maybe one of your siblings or parents that have been in school. They may have done this before. For many of our families, they could be going through this for the very first time. So we want to really take a service-driven approach to how we handle financial aid and financial planning for college and work one-to-one individually with our professional staff and the admitted student and their parents or family members or guardians or whoever is part of this process of financial planning for you. We're going to work with you one-on-one. We have an excellent staff of both financial aid professionals and admissions professionals that have a great deal of experience and knowledge of college financial planning, financial aid programs, and they're ready to help you all out individually. Each admitted student at our school is assigned their own personal individual counselor in our Office of Student Financial Services. So that's someone that's going to be there with you step by step, not just through the process between now and starting school at the end of August, 1st of September, but they're going to be there with you every year. Financial planning is something that is a yearly process in college. You do your financial aid applications every year. And so we do this planning with you every single year. So that's the person that's going to walk you through, not just now, but all the way through graduation, stepping out the door of our institution into your healthcare career. That person will be there for you each year. The centerpiece of our planning work that we do with students are individual appointments that we offer all of our admitted students. You'll hear us refer to them often as affordability appointments. What these really are an opportunity for any admitted student to the university, whether you are applying for aid or not, to have an individualized appointment with one of our professionals at the school to go over all the details of your individual financial plan. If you've applied for aid and you have an award package, we're going to walk you through step by step each element of that award, every award that is there, help you understand the eligibility of that award and what it means in your overall financial package. And then we'll also, may help you understand maybe some programs that you might have thought you were eligible for that you weren't eligible for, and kind of walk you through that. We're going to verify for you the cost for the program that you're looking at. We're going to help come to an understanding of what the balance costs are between that initial aid award and the total cost of attendance, and all of the different ways that you can satisfy or finance that remaining balance. So we'll go into that further tonight too. That's a customized plan that we develop from those appointments with each individual student. So I think all three of us will pepper this presentation with little pieces of advice every now and then. One piece of advice I'll start off with is, Beth already started, but I'll say, when you get your aid plan, one of the first things that's a good idea for you to do is to schedule one of those affordability appointments. Don't try to figure it out on your own. We'll walk you through it step by step. We also have some online resources for you too. The 24-hour Access Student Account Center is a place where you can log in and see your charges, your financial aid awards, elements around payment plans that you may be participating in. You can see all that there, one-stop shop. Student can also share access to that site with parents or a family member or whoever they wish, so that they have their own login and password to be able to access that information as well. Most colleges have institutional aid programs. When you think about your financial aid applications, you're applying for federal, state, various types of federal and state financial aid programs, but most schools have some type of institutional aid that's funded by the university. Typically, those fall into two categories, either need-based grant programs or merit scholarship programs. Some schools have one or the other. We have both at MCPHS, so we're very proud that we're able to offer both of those resources to our admitted students for those that qualify. The first one I'm going to talk about just briefly is the University Need-Based Grant Program. So this is a need-based grant that's funded by MCPHS. Your eligibility is determined from all of that information that you entered on your FAFSA. Award amounts vary every year. Remember, I said you redo that FAFSA every year, so we're going to look at eligibility for that need-based grant every year. But important to consider, if you want us to screen you for eligibility for our institutional school grant, then you're going to have to get that FAFSA done if you haven't already. The second piece of our program is our MCPHS Merit Scholarship Program. We have kind of a very large and substantial undergraduate merit scholarship program. Every applicant to our school is screened for award level eligibility of a variety of different scholarships that we offer. Good news, and hopefully all of you already know this as admitted students, each student who is admitted to our university as a freshman is offered some level of renewable merit scholarship award. So hopefully you guys already all know that. If for some reason there's a little bit of confusion, you do have access to your applicant portal as well. There are printable versions of both your admit letter and your scholarship award letter in that applicant portal. So if you need us to help you access that, reach out to us, call us, email us, we'll help you do that. Scholarship decisions are made at the time of the admission decision. So that's why you would have already received that information as admitted students. And a big element of our Merit Scholarship program is the renewability of our program. We approach it a little bit differently than some schools. The only requirement for renewability is that you have to maintain at least a 2.5 GPA in your program. But our Merit Scholarships renew all the way through to graduation from the program that you're entering as a freshman. So what that means is if you're in one of our accelerated programs, the 3-year bachelor's degrees, nursing, medical imaging, dental hygiene, all of those, that's going to renew every year until you graduate from that program. If you're in one of our more traditional 4-year bachelor's degrees, such as public health, biology, chemistry, and others, some of those, that's going to renew all the way through to graduation. Maybe more importantly, if you're in one of our extended professional programs, so let's say you're admitted to our 6-year direct entry PharmD program, the Doctorate of Pharmacy, that merit is going to renew all the way through all 6 years, all the way to graduation with your professional degree. Also, if you were admitted to one of our pre-med pathway programs or one of our other pathway programs and other majors to professional programs like physical therapy, optometry, physician assistant, and others, those undergraduate merits are also going to renew all the way through to graduation from your professional level of your degree. So we commit that to you. We want that to be there as an important part of your financial planning every year. And it is a very important piece of the overall affordability of the education for MCPHS enrolled students.
So what happens after you file for financial aid? MCPHS will review your FAFSA and generate an award package. We do have a self-service portal that students will get an email notification of how to access the portal, and then they'll be able to see their financial aid package. It'll be broken down by semester for either fall, spring, summer, or fall, spring, depending on your program. And it will also tell you if you're missing any requirements. We do mail out our initial award packets to all of our freshmen. And good news is the first round will probably be going in the mail tomorrow. They were generated on Tuesday evening, so people may have already received their email notification. So a bit of advice again is make sure you're checking your email. That notification was sent to the email that was used when you completed your FAFSA. If you haven't completed a FAFSA, don't panic. There's plenty of time to still complete that. You just need to go on to FAFSA.ed.gov and complete the 21-22 application for federal student aid. And that will help enable us to look at you for all federal and state aid, as well as Eric indicated, our need-based financial aid programs at MCPHS. It is very important that you continue to check those emails. After you get the initial packet at home, any update will only be sent to you in the self-service portal. So we only mail out the first packet because we know people like to get that actual envelope in the mail and get to sit down and see it on paper. It's exciting, especially if it's the first time for many families, it's their first student going off to college. So you'll get that, and you'll probably get one from many schools. And what we can do at our affordability appointments is really do some comparison for you. And compare apples to apples, because sometimes awards are presented in a way that's a little bit difficult to read right away if you've never had experience with it. So the affordability appointments are extremely important if you need to compare and contrast awards and see what really works for you. I think that's all about the self-service portal. And what happens when and how will I receive my tuition bill? Again, this is really important. It goes to the student. I know we probably have a lot of parents at our presentation today. And the biggest question I always get is, why isn't it sent to me? I'm paying the bill. Well, we treat the student now as an adult, and that our contract is with the student. So we email the student the information to how to log into our student account center to see their bill. They can share access here, and that's really important. You want to make sure that you get shared access so that you can also log in. With the Student Account Center gets notified of their aid as well as their tuition bill once they are registered. The bills drop. You can expect to see it in the first week of June for the fall semester, maybe the first week in November for spring, and then April for the summer session if you're attending summer school. This is where you can go in and look at your bill in real time. You can see every change, every update. If you add or drop a class, or you get an outside scholarship and you want to see if it's been credited to your account, you can log into the Student Account Center and you can see that in real time. It also gives you all of our available payment options, which we will go into in greater detail in upcoming slides. Payment deadlines are due. Fall bills are due on August 1st. Again, they drop the first week of June, so you have some time to figure out how are you going to make those payments. And these deadlines do not mean that you have to have paid your bill in full by these dates. It means you have got to let the university know how are you going to pay your bill. Are you doing a loan? Are you doing a payment plan? Are you paying out of pocket? Are you doing a combination of all three? Again, there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's what works best for your family. And our affordability appointments, our SFS counselors can help you determine that. There are so many different options available to you, and what works best is really individualized to what's going on in your family. We do know with COVID, things have changed drastically. So if something has changed since you filed your FAFSA, or because that's using 2019's income, and if things change drastically, you need to let us know, because we're willing and able to work with you to maybe look at projected 20 income or projected 21 income if you're out of work, or if you've been unemployed, now back to work, but at a different job, or your hours have been cut. Lots of reasons why we can do a review of your aid package. There are a number of payment and financing tools that will help you finance your education, and we'll go into those in greater detail in the next slide.
The first thing I like to make sure families understand is this is a really great tool as a way to reduce the amount of borrowing you're doing. To give an example, something I did when I was in school, I actually made sure I was making direct payments towards my tuition of about $100 a month. And over the course of my 4 years in school, that added up to about $4,000 that I didn't have to borrow. And that's money I never ended up paying interest on. So it was really a good financial decision in the long run. Now, of course, you want to make sure you're working within what's workful with a monthly budget for you and your family. But it's important to understand that, it's a nice tool and something that's worth considering. So what we do is we split up your payments into equal monthly payments in this plan. And again, keep in mind that you can pair this plan with a variety of different payment options. So it's not as though you have to pay all of tuition separate into those monthly payments. Now, those different payment plan options are tailored specific to your program of study. And I'm going to go into what that means in a little bit, because we have some programs that are accelerated and some that are on a traditional timeline. Anything that's an accelerated program means that you're also going to have summer courses. Anything on a traditional timeline is just fall and spring courses. Now, again, like I mentioned, it's really important that you take the time to speak with your family and you guys discuss as a group what is manageable from the family perspective, what's affordable on that monthly basis, to make sure that you don't overextend, and also make sure that you're just following a plan that really makes sense for you. To Beth's point, there's no quote unquote best way to do it. It's really what makes sense for you and your family. So I want to go into some of the details of how this looks, and this helps illustrate that point. Now, again, I mentioned earlier the difference in the type of program that you're studying, that being a traditional or an accelerated. Now, to clarify that, traditional programs are anything out of our School of Pharmacy, School of Arts and Sciences, or School of Healthcare Business. Anything that is accelerated comes out of our schools of Nursing, School of Dental Hygiene, or School of Medical Imaging and Therapeutics. So keep that in mind for those watching. When you're looking at this, you also want to look at it within the purview of what program do I have to make sure you're looking at it accurately. That's because between the two different programs, you have a different number of monthly payments. So if you look at these charts here, the left-hand column in the top two programs are for traditional programs. And again, that is anyone in the School of Healthcare Business, School of Pharmacy, or School of Arts and Sciences. You'll see that there's 5 payments made in each semester. In the fall semester, those start on July 1st, then again on August 1st, September 1st, October 1st, and November 1st. Now, keep in mind that you establish this program before the start of the semester, and you'll have to re-up the program for that next spring semester. So before December 1st, to Beth's point and to Eric's point, bills will come out early in November for that next semester. So during that period, when you see that that bill's available, before December 1st, you'll want to set up that next semester's payment. And on December 1st, January 1st, February 1st, March 1st, and April 1st, you would see those payments come out. Now, for you, those of you in the accelerated programs, meaning either our School of Nursing, Dental Hygiene, or the School of Medical Imaging and Therapeutics, you'll notice that it's slightly different. You only have 4 payments per semester, but you also have a 3rd semester in the summer as well here. So what that means is you'll start that payment plan. You'll want to set it up before August 1st, and then that first payment will come out on August 1st and continue to come out on September 1st, October 1st, and November 1st for that fall semester. And again, just a reminder, this is the right-hand column in that top left table. Now moving over into the top right table, that right-hand column, December 1st will be again, to my point before, you'll have to reestablish or reset up that payment plan for the next semester. December 1st will be the first payment that comes out, followed by January 1st, February 1st, then March 1st. And then for the summer semester, after those bills come out, on April 1st, before April 1st, I should say, you'll want to set up that monthly payment plan again for April 1st, May 1st, June 1st, and July 1st for when you'll see that come out. And again, you're not required to do this. Also, feel safe in knowing that we'll also go through these details with you when you're going through an affordability appointment. So for those who are tech savvy and have taken screenshots, wonderful. For those that are more like my parents and wouldn't want to take a screenshot, it's okay. We're going to go over all of this again within an affordability appointment. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over for the next slide here on private student loans.
So with the payment plans, that's obviously one option that families have to satisfy a part or all of the remaining balances owed to the school. A lot of our families and our students are participating in additional loan programs to finance at least part and sometimes all of that remaining balance owed to the school. Additional loan programs fall into 2 categories: private student loans or parent loans. The first one I'll talk a little bit about here are private student loans. Now, private student loans are available, obviously, from private institutions, banks, credit unions, state agencies, different types of lenders. This is something that the student applies for, but keep in mind, our students are young, they're going to be in school full time, they're going to need a cosigner. So someone's going to need to cosign this loan with them. Parent loans that I'm going to talk about in a second are typically from the direct loans from the U.S. Department of Education. However, some private lenders also have parent loans, so that's something to keep in mind as well. Most private loan programs don't have origination fees, so that's a little perk that they have. Payments on these loans typically are all deferred until after graduation. Interest rates vary by the lender. They're obviously decided by the lender. So one important suggestion, back to that advice, is with private loans, do some research and check around and look at different types of programs. We have a great tool for you called Elm Select. This is a nonprofit group that helps track popular private lenders with different colleges and institutions. So if you go to this website, there's also a link on our SFS page on our website. You enter our school's information and you're going to be able to see a list of the most popular private lenders currently with MCPHS students. And you'll be able to do a lot of compare and contrast with those to shop around and kind of find one that you are comfortable with. The second type of additional loan here is parent loans, So parent loans, as I said, there are some private lenders that offer them now, but mostly parents are taking out parent loans directly from the U.S. Department of Education, the Direct Parent Plus loan. Parents of undergraduate students, dependent undergraduate students, can borrow up to the student's cost of attendance minus any financial aid they've been awarded. So you look at the total cost of school, you look at the amount in that initial aid award that we've talked about. The difference, you can borrow up to that or any part of that through the parent loan program. This year, the interest rate is 5.3. They can change every year. They're always set in the summer for the upcoming academic year. So parents will apply for this. If for some reason the parent is not approved, the student then becomes eligible for some additional unsubsidized direct loan money as well. So that's something that potentially could happen. And repayment on these is also typically postponed until after graduation. Information on parent loans, as well as applying for those, can be found on this same studentaid.gov website. Many of our families participate in these loan programs, and they can be good options to kind of round out this full financial plan.
For those of you who have family abroad or any international students who will be looking to make any direct payments directly to the institution from an account abroad, we have a really nice tool that students take advantage of in those circumstances. It's called Flywire. So again, if you either have family that are going to be contributing, whether it's grandparents or anyone else that lives outside of the country and has a bank outside of the country with currency that isn't U.S. domestic, then this is a really nice tool for you for a couple of reasons. One, they are upfront with any fees that come up, so you know exactly what the balance is that you're transferring over. Sometimes some confusion that happens is a bank won't disclose every fee, and then it comes in short, $30, $40 off the balance that you were expecting to be covered. So that's one nice thing about this. Additionally, you don't have to worry about calculating the currency exchange. The tool does that for you. In addition to that, you're able to track that payment. I know sometimes wire transfers can be difficult in tracking, understanding when it's going to reach the school. This puts it all right out there, clear and present for you. And what may be most beneficial is if you have family abroad where English isn't their first language and they don't want to manage the customer service mess of dealing with someone in a different language, you don't have to. They actually have multilingual customer support agents that your family abroad will be able to work with, and making sure that the payment reaches here on time, or they know that it is in transit and they know exactly what is what. So it's a really nice tool in those different senses. In addition to that, though, or I should say, in addition to that, with regard to covering payment for school, we also accept outside scholarships, meaning scholarships that you might get locally that you coordinated through your high school, or things that you applied for separately. Now, we have a couple of options that we'll introduce you to in affordability appointments. One is FastWeb. That's a website that sort of takes a whole mix of different scholarships out there that are specific just to healthcare programs. So we really encourage folks to look at fastweb.com. Now, if you're awarded any of these scholarships, a lot of the time you won't know until later on in May, June, sometimes even July. Once you're notified of that, you want to make sure you get in touch with your student financial services counselor. You can either send them that award letter itself. Ultimately, what we want to do is, as soon as you're awarded that money and you're planning on putting it directly towards your tuition, we want to start the process of getting that transferred over onto your account. And we can't do that unless you notify us about that. The sooner you let us know that that award has been received and you provide that information, the sooner we can get it updated on your bill for when it comes time to organize your payment plans.
Federal Work Study is a great program that provides funding for part-time jobs for undergraduate students with financial need. You do have to file the FAFSA to qualify, and they do ask, it's one of the questions on the FAFSA, are you interested in Federal Work Study? If you don't check it off and you get to campus and say, hey, I wish I had work study, you would just contact your counselor and they could determine if you're eligible. It doesn't mean you can't because you didn't check off the little box. But it provides a part-time job. Most of them are on campus. However, we do have some in the community. COVID did throw us for a loop this year, but luckily we were able to have a lot of students actually perform their work study remote. We are very COVID conscious. We're paying attention to all the protocols and working with the students. This is not a grant. This is money that the student earns. If they don't work the hours, they don't get the award. It's about $1,000 a semester. Sometimes students will only want to work 3 hours a week, and that's fine. They don't have to work any more than that. We have students that will work 10 and 15 hours a week. Usually freshmen do somewhere in between 5 and 6 hours, and then they're paid every Thursday. They get a paycheck. It's automatically deposited into their checking account so that they have some spending money while they're in Boston. So So it's a great source of income. It's a great way for students to get to know people on campus, get to know all the departments. Almost every department on campus has work study doing something. Admissions requires probably the most of them. They do the tour guides, and if you've been on campus at all, you will see them. And they're a wonderful resource for us, for the staff. But it is a great opportunity for students to work and get extra living expense money. Again, it does not come off your tuition. It is pocket money.
We feel like we have a really good combination of value in our product and strong outcomes after graduation. Our university was recently ranked the #1 university in the nation for earning power of our graduates. We're very proud of that. We think that speaks extremely highly of the career potential and the earning potential of our grads. Also, our tuition as a private university in Massachusetts is 15% lower than the Commonwealth average for private universities. So a good combination of value and really strong outcomes in healthcare careers. Never has the world needed all of you anymore for what you're coming to our school to do. So we are excited to see you at MCPHS. Congratulations again on your admission. And we'll be seeing and talking to you all again sometime soon. Thank you for joining us.